All right. Welcome to another Run Wild with Us, Ask Us Anything. I'm Lisa Kastner. I'm the founder and executive editor of Running Wild and Rise Presses. And I am here with you on Thursdays at 5 p.m. Pacific Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, along with some of our amazing editors. And we're here to answer any questions that you might have. It can be about whatever you want, it could be around publishing, creative writing, marketing, promotions. I don't know, whatever comes to mind. Feel free to go ahead and ask. So, in order for you to do that, all you have to do is go ahead and put your comments or questions in the comments section of whatever forum you are watching us on, no matter what, if it's on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, you name it. Just pop your question in there and we'll answer. So, with that, here is the amazing Ben.
Good
So,
evening.
hey Ben, how are you doing, young man?
Good. How are you?
I'm pretty good. I actually had a disconcerting moment this morning. I went to Starbucks and someone called me ma'am, and I was like, dude, I don't remember ever being called ma'am before. So now it's confirmed that I'm no longer in my 20s.
Confirmed. That's what happens when you get to be 30.
Exactly. It's exactly what happens. And it's like 30 on the nose. After
Yes.
I was talking to somebody earlier this week, and I was like giving them a history of like stuff I've done or whatever. And I said, yeah, you know, 30 years ago, oh, let's pretend I was 5.
Yes,
Ah,
Lex.
yeah. So he got a good giggle out of it, which so that was good. So, how has your week been so far?
It's been busy.
Yeah.
Uh, Wrapping up a semester
Oh,
at
very cool.
school. Yeah. And let's see, got 3 editing projects going on
Mm.
and and some writing. And it's trying to get warm here and the winds are trying to die down. So
Ah, got it. Yeah, we're in the middle of having our bathrooms redone, and I just finished I think 2 editing projects,
yeah.
and I'm finalizing the anthologies. That one, hopefully they'll get finished this weekend. We'll see, fingers
Oh, nice.
crossed. Yeah. And then I'll be at the Los Angeles Book Festival on Sunday. I'll be at the Independent Writers of Southern California booth. So if
Yeah.
anybody's bored between like 3 and 5 o'clock, you can always just come by and say hi. Um, and then I started a new day job this week. So I've been, you know how that goes. You have to be like really heads down in whatever it is that you're doing associated with that. So,
Oh, yeah.
oh yeah, it's been busy. So, and I'm sure I'm forgetting like a dozen other things that are going on.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Um, so if you're watching this and you've got any questions for us, go ahead and put them in the comments section, and I'll just repeat the question, and then Ben and I will take turns in responding. Pete won't be with us this week. He is going to a concert because he's cool like that. Unlike us, like nerd balls who are on this live stream. So
It's more
anyway,
like a Toto concert or something
I don't know, man. It could be.
because he is cool like that.
He is cool like that. I have not heard of Toto in so long. I'm like, I can't believe you did that reference. That's awesome. Caroline says, "Hi,
Wow,
my dear people."
I just turned 35 too, so it's
Yeah, you've just heard of them through rumor.
Yeah.
Clearly, that's all it is. Yeah. Caroline says, "Hi, my dear people, Lisa and Ben." Hey, Caroline, how are you doing?
Right?
Rod Gilly says, "Hi, will Ben guest on your new show, 20 Questions?" Hey, that's a great question. So, for those of you who are watching who have no idea what Rod is talking about, we have been talking about doing a 20 questions, like real quick, asking questions of the guest in rapid fire. My gosh, actually, I think since the beginning of us even starting Running Wild, and we finally actually kicked it off. We had our first 20 questions with Tasha Hutchison, who is one of our amazing authors, and we put that out there literally Tuesday of this week, Monday, Tuesday, I think. And so what we're planning on doing is doing maybe one every other week, something like that. And I'm sure at some point Ben will be a guest. The intent is that we're going to have anyone from someone from behind the scenes to our authors to our editors. So basically, you just have to be some way, shape, or form affiliated with Running Wild and or Rise, and you may get pulled in to do a 20 questions. So the first one went really well. I think Tasha was absolutely fantastic, and I don't know who the next one person's going to be. I'll take requests if there's someone that you'd like me to uh, ask questions of. Feel free to go ahead and put in those requests, and I'm happy to pull them in. My only ask is that uh, whoever you're requesting, it's like associated with some kind of event, so we can kind of back them up in whatever it is they're trying to promote. So yeah, that's it. So yeah, Ben, I'm sure maybe this may be the first time that you're hearing about you guesting on on 20
Yeah.
questions, but yeah, I don't know. Would you want to do it?
Oh yeah. I had a lot of fun with you and Teehee with the
Oh
what
yeah,
was the name of it?
Storytellers Happy Hour.
Yes, yes.
Now, yeah, we're
I
supposed
was
to
going to
start.
recommend Teehee as a 20 question person because no matter
Uh,
what the questions are, you will get some good answers.
oh yeah. Oh, I agree. That's a great idea. I need to pull Teehee back in. He
Yeah.
we were gonna do restart the Storytellers Happy Hour with Teehee. But he's been heads down working on a mystery that he's finalizing. So I know the last time I talked to him, he mentioned that he really was looking forward to us starting the Storytellers Happy Hour again. So oh yeah, that was so much fun.
Yeah.
So for those who are watching, what we would do is we'd pull in. It was myself and Teehee who co-hosted, and it wasn't a. It was about no, I guess it was an hour. I was going to say it wasn't an hour, but I think it was probably about an hour. And we would pull in like two or three different authors, and everybody would get a prompt, and they'd have to come up with some kind of story on the fly. And somehow it almost always ended up being like some story that they probably shouldn't have been sharing. And yet they did. It was also helpful that they were drinking at the time. It's interesting how much more people share when they've had a few sips of something. So, but yeah, we definitely will have to restart that one as well. So,
Just
um,
for the record, I only had iced tea.
all right, that's fine. Rod
The,
says, sorry, go ahead.
doing something on TV that you regretted. And you
Doing
said, "Is that one good?" I said, "Oh yeah, here we go."
Yeah, yeah, that would be interesting actually.
Yeah.
So, Rod Gilly says, try what I did in my first show, interview yourself. Nah, I'm fine.
What do you think?
Say that again. I'm sorry.
Say self. What do you think?
Right? Yeah.
I'm not going to
Nah.
answer that one.
Caroline says, I'm in once my work starts to come out. Oh, yeah, absolutely. We would love to have you. Rod says, some say it worked. I'm sure it would work. I just don't want to do it. I'd rather have like Ben asking me questions or somebody else, someone else who's entertaining in case I'm not. So, I don't know. Um, oh, so I think I just mentioned for those of you who are in the Los Angeles area, I will be at the um, Los Angeles Book Festival at USC. It's completely free. So just stop by the IWOSC table between 3 and 5 p.m. on Sunday, and you'll see me there. So it would be fun to see you and say hi and chat. We've also got a few exciting things that are in the works right now. Some partnerships with a certain university that I'll talk about more closer to the time that we actually launch it. But a lot of really exciting stuff that we are working through with an MFA program, and I think you guys are really going to be excited with what we're gonna the partnership and what we're gonna bring together. So, uh, Caroline says a little alcohol loosens up the inhibitions, gets over the fear of a blank page. That's true, and it also gets you to stop thinking about what you're actually saying, and you just sort of blather. Uh, Rod Gilly says, you're very entertaining. Yours is one of the most popular episodes of Relax and Chat. You rocked the book fest too. Oh, wow. Well, thank you. I think he's talking to you, Ben.
Oh, that's you.
I don't know why I'd be entertaining. I just talk too much. Oh, if for anyone who actually does drink wine, go to Groupon because Groupon has a couple of deals on getting like a case of actually pretty good wine for comparatively cheap. You might be surprised because check it out today if you're watching this because I think the deals end by this weekend. So if you're a wine drinker, it's a good opportunity to get some wine so that when we do our next storytellers happy hour, then you can join us in having a glass. um Caroline says, Lisa, people that talk too much are usually always entertaining. Well, that's true. As long as it's that they don't, keep just blathering on and on, then you kind of start zoning out. But yeah, typically it's entertaining. Oh, and Ben and I have been working on the follow-up to Cure, and Ben came up with a great title for it. Do you want to share that title?
My working title?
Yeah.
The Family Packs?
See, I think that's great. The family packs.
It's
It's
a
got
family
a
pack because it's a history.
yeah, and it's
It's all the family comes together, and there are two different packs.
see, and it's two different wolf packs
Yeah,
basically. Yeah, I
it's
think it
family
works.
pack. So that's not the working title anymore. That's the actual title.
Well, it could be. I mean, mine was The Calling, but I thought no one's gonna know what the hell that references. So it's also
I've still got a ways to go. So we'll keep that one for now.
you might come up with something else. All right, that works for me. Uh, Caroline says, my husband says I would talk to a tree if it talked back. I'm sorry, that's really funny. Teja says, I love the Bazinga t-shirt. Thank you. Is it a reference to the Big Bang Theory? Correct. It is a reference to the Big Bang Theory. I once upon a time I had connections. I guess I still do, but anyway. So I have a whole bunch of t-shirts that reference TV shows and movies and stuff that were offered through Warner Brothers or Warner Brothers affiliates. So don't be surprised if you see like Superman t-shirts on me or Batman t-shirts or stuff like that. So, but yep, this is my Big Bang Theory one. What was I gonna say? Oh, I'm also going to be teaching a class in oh, now I have to look it up. um, at a writers group on May. I want to say it's on May. Is it May 7th? I'm saying this as if you're going to know what the hell I'm talking about.
Sunday. Is it on Sunday?
Yeah, it's on a Sunday.
The 7th works.
I don't think no, it's not the 7th. It is, here it is. It's on the 20th. I'll be speaking at the Diamond Valley Writers Guild. So if you are a writer and you want to talk a little bit about structure, that's what I'm going to be talking about. So, and to give you some context, what I'm planning on doing is just sitting back, first talking about the importance of structure so that, readers actually know what the heck you're talking about. And some of the classic structures for like a mystery, a romance, a thriller. And I know that there are a lot of people at the Diamond Valley Writers Guild who are writing memoirs. So I'm actually going to spend a little bit of extra time on memoir structures and some structures that have been used for memoirs that um, really kind of help frame it for the reader, because I think there's oftentimes people get confused between a biography and a memoir. They're two very different things. Same thing with an autobiography and a memoir. Very different things. So I want to help make sure that we're setting up folks for success as they complete their memoirs. Rod Gilly says, my wife asks, Ben, it's on you, man. Did you really see the 40-pound gopher in the Coke bottle? Reference to the awesome Conley Bottom.
Yeah. Conley Bottom's it's a collection of poems about a place. It's part of the book. Speaking of memoir, it's a poemoir.
It's a poemoir.
And the person who lived in a trailer in the night of April 4th, 1974, when a tornado came through, he got to his car just in time to watch his trailer go over the hill. And the next day, though, he went down to see what he could salvage from the remnants of anything left. And he started off every story with, now you can believe this or not, but when I got down there, that wind had been so bad that I saw a 40-pound gopher in a Coke bottle. And you can believe it or not. So I didn't see it myself, but he swears up and down he saw it.
Okay. Rod says, it is awesome. Makes one remember, makes one smile. Highly recommend it to everyone.
Very
all right.
Nice.
You've heard it here, guys.
You heard it here.
You heard it here. Absolutely.
That's kind of what a memoir should do. Make you remember, make you smile, make you connect to the author. It may not be the exact experience, but it's a shared human experience.
Well, it should be at least somewhat accurate. I mean, it's not an article. You're not it's not a news article, but yeah, very true. So what are you working? Oh, other thing for folks who are watching, if you are interested in being in one of our anthologies, we're actually going to have a special edition anthology of stories that are written in the world of Cure. So if you have no idea what I'm talking about, that is completely fine. Because I am putting in the chat, here is a link to our submittable page. You can go there, check it out, and you can just check out, look, it's the very first one, the World of Cure short story anthology. You can submit all the way to the end of July. So submit your short story through July 31st. We have some guidance in terms of what the expectations are for the actual short story and like what to do, have your characters do in that world. Um, but seriously, have a blast. I I'm really hoping Ben submits something because he's the editor for Cure, so I know he's been reading these things, going, you know what she should have done? She should have done this.
Yeah, I did add a character the other day. I
Did
added a
you?
character for you. Yeah,
Cool.
I added Eddie.
Okay.
Eddie is Luna's assistant because you didn't give him a name, so I gave her assistant. She handed over the pastry process to her assistant,
Oh, okay.
and I gave him a name because you never know, he may need to show up later on sometime.
That's true. Yeah, he absolutely may need to. Named him
So he's
Eddie.
Eddie.
Okay, that's fine.
And
Works for me.
I do have an idea for the anthology though. It's
Oh yeah,
it's gonna be a night in the hospital.
a night in the hospital. Oh yeah. Okay, whose night in the hospital?
Well, it's gonna be another character, just
Uh-huh.
from that's connected, but he's gonna end up in the hospital, and the hospital plays an important role with in between the Cure and family packs.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right. Well, I can't wait to read it. This should be interesting.
yeah.
Caroline says, makes you connect, Ben, to what was that you experienced and get down to the feeling you have. Most important.
That's Conley Bottom, I think. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Conley Bottom. It's got a sequel, but I haven't heard from the publisher in a long time.
Oh, what's this? Well, I mean, you always know you can. I don't think you didn't send it to us.
No, no at least I would have known where it was if it was here. But he's because it's basically it's not necessarily narrative poetry like the stuff I published with Running Wild. So it found a home in another indie publisher, and the idea was to have a 3-part series, but number 2 is falling off the face of the earth, going on 2 years now, and nothing.
Oh,
I got nothing.
You got nothing? That sucks, man.
I know. I can't resurrect him. I'm not sure what happened.
Well, are you working on anything else to submit to Running Wild and possibly have us publish?
Oh, there's some ideas, yes. And I've just got to make sure that it's more of it's poetry with a storyline.
Look, it could always be like an overarching story, okay. You know.
I do have the Thelma Todd. I've talked about it before. I wrote it over Christmas with Thelma Todd, who was a movie star who I think her story gets resurrected every 10 or so years because they're not real sure how she died or why she died or who was involved. Mm-hmm. But it's an interesting story, and she was an actress, a comedian who she showed up with the Marx Brothers and Laurel and Hardy, and in that time frame. And she was actually married to Gloria Vanderbilt's. She was married to him first, and then they got divorced, and he married Gloria Vanderbilt. It's very interesting Hollywood kind of circle.
Ah, got it.
For for an LA-based publisher, it might fit.
Sure, why not? I do not. It's so funny. I so don't follow any of the Hollywood stuff, like the
Like
relationship.
60 or 90 years to find it. So.
Well, okay. Yeah, it's just not my thing. But yeah, I'm the weirdo who volunteers at the local homeless shelters. So
Great stories, though.
I guess.
I know you hear great stories there.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I more so just sit back and listen and just let people talk about whatever it is they're going to talk about, you know. So, but yeah. So I can't. It's actually already almost like halfway through the hour, which is kind of insane. Rod says, "My cross country adventure with Rod by Ben White." I'm not touching that. I'm just gonna let Ben comment.
I gotta go cross country to begin that.
Oh no, Rod, how do you? Oh, now after I said I'm not touching it, now I'm touching it. So what do you mean by a cross country adventure with Rod by Ben White? You want him to write a narrative poem about you going across country? I guess that could be interesting.
Yeah. I'm working on one of those with where I pick up John Dos Passos.
Oh, okay.
And we go across country together. It comes and goes with ideas.
I see. Well, you're the crazy person who gets up at 2:30 in the morning and writes, which I give you huge credit for, but
there's all kinds of people who visit at 2:30.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Now, do you require some type of caffeinated beverage in order to actually be awake enough to write at 2:30 in the morning?
Oh yes. Well, I do have a cup of coffee.
Oh, see? There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I get up at 4:10 in the morning.
Exactly. 4:10.
Yeah, because I've tried to get up at 4, and there's something about that hour that my body goes, nope. But at 4:10, I get up and I work out, and then I go for a long walk to get my latte and walk home, and then thus begins my day. So yeah. Rod says, "Grab the rights, Lisa," referring to my cross country adventure with Rod. Imagine the mischief we'd get into. I want an all expense paid trip, wealthy acquisitions editor, and starving artist writer. It'd be a hit. I have no idea who you think is the wealthy acquisitions editor. But just the fact that you even made that comment is hilarious. Clearly it's you, Ben, because it's not me. I mean, yeah, I'm a billionaire. I forgot. And so's Ben.
So easily forgotten.
So easily forgotten that we're both billionaires. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Cremo says, "Hey, hello, Lisa. Hello, Ben. Hello, Cree. As always, lovely to see you." I don't know, Ben. Are there any topics that you want to talk about or cover, or anything you want to discuss?
The Running Wild Press short story Anthology number 8 is still open for submissions. I'll start going through there and selecting stories here pretty soon. Pretty soon means in May sometime. But so there is still time. So, and if you have submitted and you haven't heard from us, that's why it's waiting for me to get back around to them. But I'm headed that way, and once I start looking, it goes pretty quick to have the selection, and then the editing process, working with the authors one at a time. And Carolyn said she sent me 3, so I'm coming back around.
Ooh. Eh.
But and I think Rise is still open as well. We're debating who's going to edit that. It could be me, it could be Cody, it could be someone else. But those are still open as well. So if you're on the Rise side, send us those stories. We love to get the stories, and it's open all the time. But there's usually a cutoff for each anthology. Like if I look at starting last June, I think it's last June 1st or July 1st, all the way up to now May or June 1st again, that'll be the selection pool. Not to say that I haven't gone into the next year's selection pool to find stories to round out the anthology. I've been known to do that, but it's if it doesn't make this pool, then it's still there. It's still there for next year.
Got it. Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm gonna once I'm done with the novella anthologies, so I'm finishing up 8 for Running Wild and 2, I believe, for Rise. So when I'm done those, I'm probably gonna start on the one afterwards. I'm gonna say maybe June, something like that, because at the end of July, I'll start working on the Cure anthology, short story anthology. So I want to get it staggered a little bit. Yeah. Caroline asks, you want more or is 3 enough for me?
3 is good.
Yeah, otherwise it'll become.
You never know. The 4th one may be the magic one. You never know. So I won't say absolutely not, but I'll say 3's pretty good start.
And who knows? This could become the Caroline anthology.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually just it was a couple of collections of stories that I edited with animal husbandry, and then the number 12 Street St. Catherine, Rue St. Catherine.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yep. We've got a couple more that actually we just finished editing quite a few full-length novels and memoirs. So we're starting looking at what next ones to start assigning editors to. So if you're one of our authors and you've been waiting for an editor, you might hear from us in the next couple weeks about an editor being assigned to you. So, and we thank you for your patience. I mean, I know I've been very public about the fact that like we've got books picked all the way out to 2025. So, you know, if you're with us and you don't have an editor assigned to you, it's probably because you know, we're backed up a little bit. So, you know, we thank you again for your patience as we knock them out. Rod has 2 serious questions. Okay. It was suggested that I should cut my novel into 3 novellas. As you may publish it, which would you say would be best? So, Rod, is the question, is it better that it's a novel or 3 novellas? Is that the question? I just want to make sure I understand.
I think
Hopefully.
he's typing yes or no. I think the approach. Yeah, there it is.
Yes. Oh,
Um,
okay. I don't know. What
and
do you think, Ben?
I think it would be a good way to go either way. The novel is having it one collection, or if you wanted to space it out and go with 3 novellas, and of course you'd want to have a guarantee that the first novella was followed by a sequel, followed by the third one. Whereas if you just did it with a novel, you'd have one contract, and that would be okay. Because you may find it more difficult to find 3 contracts or a contract including all 3 at the same time, unless they're ready to go and polished and publishable. But I really think it's a personal author's choice. You could do the 3 novels and then have that 4th collection of all 3 together. That's another option as well. Publish them together, separately then together. You've seen
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, that I agree. I mean, Rod, I don't know if the suggestion was made so that you could submit the novellas to other different publishers who publish novellas and have them published separately first, and then go back and have them pulled together as a single unit, as a single novel, or just do it as like a novella collection. It just depends on what you want to do, really. Rod says, I have enough story in first draft, would have to add some scenes. Is a novel or a novella more marketable, profitable in general? Oh, cool. Cody's joining us.
Hello.
Hey, Cody.
Hi.
Uh,
How you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
It's a good week. Yeah.
Oh, good. We're just answering Rod's question around should he go forward with his piece as a full-length novel or 3 novellas, like break the novel into 3 novellas. He says he's got enough story in first draft to add, he would just have to add some scenes. But is a novel or a novella more marketable, and profitable in general? Well, believe it or not, like Great Expectations, technically speaking, is a novella. There are a lot of instances where a novel or something was a novella and it was actually sold as a novella, just because the general public doesn't necessarily know the difference, to be, I guess, rude about it. I think if it depends on where you want to sell the book and where you want to market it and how you want to market it. Either one could work. In all honesty, I think. I don't know. What do you think, Cody?
Yeah, I mean, a novella series could be interesting, right? Because you could release one per month for a while. You could have covers that kind of lead in one to the next. I don't see that much. Honestly, more of the series are novel length. So you'd have to kind of get the pricing right in terms of having each one be profitable, but still, you wouldn't expect as a reader to pay a novel price for a novella. So I think the novella is just more tricky. Readers aren't quite as used to it or familiar with it, and it's duplicating a lot of the production work that if you just have one novel, that's much more streamlined. Yeah.
What do you think, Ben?
I think the novella or the novel may get more interest up front, and just for the reasons Cody just cited. And you think about East of Eden came out way before The Red Pony, and which wasn't a series of novellas for sure. but the East of Eden surely could have been, and there was a reason it wasn't. So I think it's a discussion to have, an idea to have, but don't be discouraged if it's not accepted as something that's marketable, because like Cody says, it's rare to see. Not to say that's not a reason, maybe a reason to try it. We like rare to see. But
yeah, those are all great points.
I guess also, if you're going with a publisher, much less common that they'll want to pick up a novella, right? Like Running Wild publishes novellas, and that's great. And some other small presses, but a lot of the traditional presses won't touch them. Yeah.
And if they do, they don't position them as novellas. They position them as novels. The
tidy novel,
which is interesting, considering, oftentimes they're very it's a great quick read, just because of the length itself. So I always thought it was fascinating that the larger publishers won't typically touch a novella, and the only reason we do an anthology, in all honesty, is because, at least for me, greedily, I love knowing that, hey, I've got, like 4 or 5, like fulfilling reads in one anthology with a novella anthology, because it's meaty enough compared to a short story, if that makes sense. So I want to get this in here because we only have like 15 minutes left, which just shocks the heck out of me. Margaret Buchanan says, "Congratulations, Cody, on LA Writers Journal." Congrats, Cody.
Gonna be a big weekend. Yes. I mean, I've got all of the boxes behind me. I don't know if you can see, there's about 8 boxes of every volume of the anthology that we're bringing to the festival. The new one, for Saturday and Sunday, it'll be the only place on earth that this book is sold until June 1. So it's kind of a special thing we do for us and for the contributors and for the readers. Is, we debut it at the Festival of Books, and it's a fun time, and then we go back and start being like, oh, okay, now we've got to put out the ebook, now we've got to make sure we've got distribution and all that stuff lined up, and publicity and all of that. But this weekend's the fun stuff.
And so, for those of you who don't know what we're talking about, so this is the Los Angeles Festival of Books at the University of Southern California's campus. And Cody is going to be bringing forward, debuting, Made in LA.
Yeah.
When are you going to be at the actual festival?
All day Saturday and Sunday. So starting at 10 until 6 on Saturday until 5 on Sunday. 2 of the co-editors will be there, including the cover designer, and she's fabulous. And then we have contributors coming in throughout the days to sign books and say hello and talk about their stories with everyone who's there. So it'll be fun. Yeah.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to it. I'll be at the IWOSC booth on Sunday between 3 and 5. So I'll stop by and say hi on my way over to the table.
Yeah.
Let's see. Rod says, a paranormal thriller trilogy of novellas. No one expected me either, and I'm actually getting good reviews. That's awesome. I like doing what seems entirely new. Yeah, definitely. Caroline says, wonderful, Cody. Yeah, absolutely. A really exciting weekend. So now I have to pick up mine.
The only place you can do it.
That is
Yeah.
so awesome. Cool. Well, we've got all of 15 minutes left. I don't know, Cody, is anything that you want to talk about or mention, or any
Um,
questions?
Yeah, I did like a 1 hour workshop at the Flights of Foundry conference this last weekend.
Oh, cool.
The online conference mainly for sci-fi and fantasy, and it was all about how to develop your pitch. And I kind of broadened it out from pitching a specific book to helping people understand, like helping writers understand how to shape their public personas and be ready to pitch either themselves or their book or some other form of collaboration that they want. And it went well. Like there was maybe 10 people, and it was good discussion, and the attendees got to try out their pitches and get feedback from everyone who was in the workshop. So and I did my plug for Rise and Running Wild, so hopefully we'll see some more submissions coming in from the writers who were there. Yeah.
Awesome. Are there any was it recorded? That was going to be my question.
The workshop was not recorded. I moderated a panel on organizing freelance life too with Kate Maruyama, who's I think one of our well, you know her, I think, Lisa, and a few other editors. So that was recorded, and that should be available online when they release them, but not the workshop
very
itself.
cool.
And so I'm kind of thinking like, okay, well, if this is useful, if it's helpful to authors, I'll find other venues to be able to do it again.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I mean, honestly, if you think it's something that's valuable, we could always do like a special online workshop through Running Wild, and
yeah,
that might be fun.
Yeah. I think, especially I think it would be valuable for authors, for example, who may be shy or, aren't used to public speaking, or maybe don't have a lot of practice with the marketing side, where what's really important is to get a very sharply defined angle on your work to share with someone to see, if they're interested in learning more. Yeah, I'd be happy to do that.
That would be amazing. Absolutely. Real fast, I'm putting in the chat. So this is our last day of our Kickstarter campaign. So if you're interested in checking it out, go check it out now, and use this as it's a great opportunity for you to get previewed stories from Running Wild and Rise, and B, get some really cool and fun deals, like having characters named after you. You tell us what story you want to have written, and we'll write it. Actually, I guess that means I'll write it. All kinds of like really neat things like that. So check it out. It's super, super fun. And yeah, so I wanted to make sure I made that plug before we closed out today, because we've only got like maybe 10-12 minutes left. So Ben, is there anything else that you want to cover or talk about?
I've got a whole list of character names, but I just want to make sure that they get killed off in every story.
I wonder, where did you come up with those names, Ben?
I can neither confirm or deny that they're real people.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
That would be sweet. That would be worth it.
Oh my goodness. How about you, Cody? Do you have anything else that you want us to chat about, or?
No, I've got a lot of stuff running through my head, but I think it's all going to come together later, I guess.
Yeah.
I am. Well, I saw Margaret on here. So maybe shout out Margaret. I will get in touch with you very soon, and I'm excited to work with you.
Very cool. Yeah, and admittedly, I've got a whole bunch of things in the works. I was mentioning earlier that I'm in discussions with an MFA program at a university for us to partner on several things, and we're in the very beginning stages. I think we'll probably make formal announcements at the beginning of the fall semester this year. So definitely look out for that, guys, because honestly, like it's really exciting. What we're in discussions for. So yeah. And with that, we've got 10 minutes left. So if you're watching, definitely use this opportunity. Ask us whatever questions you might have, and we will be more than happy to take turns in responding to your questions. And if you're watching this and it is not Thursday at 5 p.m. Pacific time or 8 p.m. Eastern time, it's not a big deal. You can just go ahead and toss your questions in the comments section, because what happens is we go back during the week and we check out the different comments and questions people bring forward, and we'll respond to it in the subsequent session. So, and we really do that. We're not just saying that to sound sexy. We actually do go back and check. So I'm just trying to think of.
I have one thing.
Oh, do it. Yeah.
Lisa, you actually put me in touch with them in the first place, but it's coming up in June. June 10th and 11th is the California Crime Writers Conference.
Ooh.
And it's in Culver City. And I mean, it's a great place if you're working on a manuscript anywhere tangentially related to crime, to meet other authors, to meet editors and publishers, and kind of up your game. And they've really assembled a great group of like panelists and presenters. So it's going to be good. I will drop that in the chat.
Is that going to be? I know this seems to be my question of choice. Do you know if it's going to be recorded or if it's just purely live?
I know it's in person for sure. Let me see if they say anything about hybrid.
Because that would be amazing.
Yeah, so workshops and panels. I don't know. I'll find out and I'll bring the answer back to the next Ask Us Anything.
Awesome. Yeah, that would be very cool. Like I know the Diamond Valley Writers Guild, that one's going to be recorded because they had a really good turnout when I did a workshop with them last year. So we figured we'd do it hybrid this time. And sorry, I'm like thinking out loud. I was gonna say I think I'm speaking at StokerCon. I know I was put forward to talk at StokerCon for a couple of different panels. So if that does come through, then I'll let you guys know, and I'll share the details regarding it. So, but I really look forward to that.
I've always wanted to go to.
Me too. Yeah, I've never been before too. Yeah, so this to me it's like super exciting. I actually made all my reservations and everything like the week everything became available for this year's StokerCon. And for those of you who don't know, StokerCon's like the Horror Writers Association's big national writers conference, and they have this huge conference every year, and I've never been able to go before, and this is the first time. I mean, I literally booked everything the week that it became available because I was like, I am not going to wuss out. I am going to go. I'm going to go in 2023. So I just needed to make sure that it would happen. So yeah, so the more information I have, so now you know I will be at StokerCon. I just don't know what I'm going to be like speaking on and all that, but I'll tell you guys as soon as I know. Rod says, also, do you have a general ballpark release date for RWP Anthology 7? I'm very eager to hold a real book with my work in it. My little book is cool, but tiny. Ben, we don't have a date yet, right? I don't think so.
We do not. But I think Rise came out with May 24, so I would think that same time period.
That makes sense.
Yeah, because I know we settled on a date for the Rise Anthology #1, but Anthology #7 RWP, they were completed the same time and sent into production, but it's just a backlog of capacity. But I would think around the same time. That's a ballpark. Around the same time.
Around the same time. So April, May. No, I guess it would have to be May. Yeah, May next year, definitely.
Yeah.
So cool. Yeah, again, as soon as we have the dates finalized, we'll let you guys know. So all right. Well, with that, I think we've only got a couple minutes left. I want to thank everybody who's joined us. As always, you guys are fantastic. Thank you, Margaret. Thank you, Caroline. Thank you, Rod. Thank you. Thank you, Cree. And as always, thank you, Cody. Thank you, Ben. Always having an absolutely fantastic time. And with that, I think I thanked everyone. So have an amazing weekend, and we will see you this time next week. So for now, ciao.
Bye. Thanks.
Bye-bye. Have a good